to my YouTube channel, and I'm super excited for the conversation that is gonna start from me talking about this in the comment section. It is about a YouTuber we haven't talked about ever, I think, which is, you know, a first on this channel. It is actually about Zoella. Now, if you don't know who Zoella is Zoe Sugg, who is one of the biggest British influencers. Remember, the peak of vlogging was like 2013, 2014. Also, in my opinion, the peak of the YouTuber was 2013, 14. Zoella was one of the biggest and kind of the blueprint of British vloggers and kind of their content style and them having British friend groups and British events and British tea and fucking British laughs at each other. Like, it was friend groups, and she was kind of one of the main ones. She was one of the first YouTubers in my... not my opinion, but I can recall that had a book. She had a novel, but then she was exposed, and one of her biggest controversies at the start was that she was exposed for having a ghostwriter, which all YouTubers have. But only in Zoe's case, she was attacked because she kind of led her audience, her young audience, into believing she wrote this entire book, and this has been a dream of hers, so that people bought it, I bought it. But then she evaded that controversy, and she made other books, and then she made like skincare, makeup, and I think most of that has been discontinued. But other than that, she's still someone who's remained relevant on YouTube. She sold her channel name, I think, Zoella, to like be a company, and they, you know, act as, you know, Zoella, and she acts as Zoe Sugg, more personable. But I have to say that she still gets like 200,000 to 1 million views on her vlog channel. Now, considering she was one of the like pioneers, especially during that era, she has kept an audience, and that's something that is very credible, and just, it's hard to do for a lot of these people who like die off. Anyway, she's in a controversy now because of her brand, Zoella. Now, this is what I'm very excited to talk about. I've been excited to talk about this for about a week now. So, Zoella, the company, released an article, which, by the way, this Zoella is now meant for like 18 to 20-year-olds, 18 to 25-year-olds, 18 to 30-year-olds. Because obviously, whenever Zoella sold it, she didn't have her young audience anymore. She was one of the first people to have, you know, like a very young audience, and they grew up, and she sold off, you know, the name and the company, and is still part of it, I think, whenever they were older. So that's the demographic of the website. The website did an article, and it was about sex toys for girls, you know, for young women, for women, and that's it. And what happens next is a shitstorm. Zoella is getting cancelled, is getting complaints from parents, is getting complaints from straight men TikTok. You know them ones? The ones with like the football icon and the MAGA. You know them ones? That's the kind... Tories is the word I'm looking for. Who were making these videos and tweets angry at Zoella that how dare her brand ever endorse this and ever insinuate that women would need a sex toy. And here's my thing, before we get into her addressing this huge backlash, one, the demographic of Zoella is not what these people were making the issue of. Like, they're like, to like children! That's not the audience of Zoella and Zoe Sugg. Come on, that's the first argument gone. Second, if this was a male influencer, there would be no issue here. Like, say even on a YouTube video, there would be no issue. People would not bat an eyelash. If it was Alfie Days, who is with Zoella, his company did it, no one would have talked about it. No one would have got any backlash. But in my opinion, because it's a woman, that's what, and the secrecy around this and puberty for women, and it's just, it's a conversation that like, these like straight men on Twitter just fully attacked Zoe Sugg for. And she actually addressed it and started a bigger conversation around this, which we're gonna go through these now just to hear what she was saying. So, it was the news story had dropped, and then, like, schools, I think the GCSE system, which is an exam, included something about Zoella or Zoe Sugg in an article then. And the mothers are pissed about that Zoe, you know, would ever get any publicity now after her doing this. So, Zoella said, not one to usually entertain ridiculous articles. Apparently the Zoella website got picked for a GCSE syllabus. Nothing I was aware of or asked to be part of. So just that she was brought on. So she said, For those who aren't aware, the Zoella website is not just me reviewing things. It's a passionate team of women writing about things that women are interested in, and we've worked hard to include more women's health, controversial articles, and basically just more grown-up content as our main demographic, which is the key thing, the demographic at hand, who these articles are made for, not these like men on Twitter and men journalists, is 25 to 35 years old females, not 16-year-olds. However, if the curriculum had done their research before just going, oh, Zoella, her audience are teens, right? They probably would have discovered countless posts about periods, sex, fertility, more adult, which is weird that it's adult, but just more grown-up or mature topics, I don't know, on the website, along with the newest one they're referring to. Alongside this, I actually disagree that teens shouldn't be learning about this stuff. Maybe not in their bloody curriculum exam, but how else are teenage girls going to find out more about being a woman? I wish I had a website like Zoella when I was growing up. Instead, I had magazine problem pages. Are you trying to tell me your 16-year-old daughter doesn't know what a sex toy is, or hasn't explored her body at all? Oh, please. And I'm so happy she's going off. It's reasons like this that we feel it's important to write about these things on our website, and I hope they continue to. And we will continue to do so. Should have read the next sentence. But just to clear up the narrative, no, I did not review vibrators. As a team, we wrote a post about the most popular ones, and guess what? It was our most clicked on article, most swiped up, and most ordered items through links ever, because women do this. And if this story makes you feel uncomfortable, that's society for you. I'm so happy she's going off, especially someone who normally does not address criticism. And just a little reminder to the media, my name is Zoe, not Zoella. I am 30 years old. My audience demographic is made up of 25 to 35-year-old females. Please stop with this narrative that fuels most of what you write. Which again is such a clear point, because if they included that in their narrative, it would completely cancel out the argument that these men were trying to build up. And you know what? Not only is she coming back and biting back, and as she should, and giving them the facts, her saying her demographic fully is like, there's no criticism that can be, you know, put, because the narrative was 16-year-old girls. My demographic is this, but they're allowed to click on it too, and why do you not think they're allowed to click on it? I love that she started this conversation, because it's something that gets so silenced by the media, and people are scrutinized. What did I try to say? Scrutinized for, like Zoella. So then she did, in a quote, Zoella reviews sex toys for teens. Seriously? Happy Saturday, everyone. Then she goes on and is like showing that it was the front page of the fucking newspaper. So she goes on, she's sharing stories that are like, God forbid teenagers learn about sex toys, blah, 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 blah. Maybe if the education system was involved a bit, they wouldn't be in a crisis. Rant over. Keep going, Zoella. This post is going nowhere. And it was basically another one of the news sites. And she goes, and here's the post in case you want to see what, you know, is most popular. So, again, the article reads, the best sex toys to spice up your life in 2021. And so she's getting more clicks in her article now by this controversy. I don't think they saw that one through. Then she shows that Zoella is getting, like, dropped from exam boards over this, review that she's doing. So many articles about it, right? Someone said, this is so frustrating. This is mentioned once. We have to learn about the birds and the bees, and we get to learn about all of men's things, but never ours. That is that summed up. And then we have another one. She says, haha, also just realized this. Do these people even do any research? Little life reminder that the media can spin whatever they want. I wonder if people have gone looking for that video. So basically, news sites are now saying that she was reviewing sex toys on a YouTube video for her very young audience, which again, changing it to fit whatever narrative you want. Okay. They know they could have probably got away from it because this is so taboo and people wouldn't speak up, but I'm so happy she spoke up on a personal level as a woman, but also just as a business person who's saying, I'm not going to back down because of your shitty articles, you know what I mean? So, here we go again. She has reposted, someone said, this is the front page news. Zoe is 30 years old. She has not moved on to adult content. So, again, people are just confused on why the media obviously ran with this narrative. And again, it just opened a conversation to show how male-based, like, decisions are in media still. That they're able to fill the newspapers, fill the online articles with articles against Zoe because they're uncomfortable. Like, is it the head of office, a man or something, who's like, that's a great article? Because what woman is approving that? You know what I mean? Very weird. But it goes on. So, more people are sharing about the amount of articles, and I'm glad that all of these other influencers were speaking up and saying this is something that doesn't need shaming and needs to be spoken up about. So the fact that people were now, you know, just speaking up about it makes this even better. So then Zoe put up and said, "My messages are going wild. Thank you so much for all your support and lovely, long, and considerate messages. Reading through all the DMs, it's so clear that you're all very passionate about normalizing this and removing the taboo, something that, sadly, the articles like this only make worse. And also, no, that says teachers. My eyes are bad today. And also, teachers who wish more than anything that they could introduce women's health topics to school. Men's health topics are in it. Why not women's?" So them removing, you know, any zoella work from examining boards because of this controversy shows that the media have not moved on. The media have not matured. The media are just disgusting. So then she says, "Also, I'd love to share the fact that I have so many men and teenage boys, some of which were learning about it before it dropped, haha, in my DMs, also showing their support and expressing how much of a taboo it is and how much this makes them happy. And again, on my channel, I'm gonna say at least that this makes me very happy that this is now being spoken up about. And hey, if it needed the outrage of all these men and journalists, then look at the conversation it started. And I think moving forward will be a lot better, so... haha, they didn't see that one through." So then she was sharing a bunch of things that say, like, "Attention, this post is normalizing self-pleasure." Then she is sharing, again, more news articles showing you just how this got so big. And then, okay, so she's sharing, again, more, and then she shows that Lily Allen is also the brand ambassador for a sex toy company as well, and is like, "Let's normalize it again, look at Lily Allen doing this." Then she said, "The fact that we're in the midst of a global pandemic that is taking the lives of millions of people, yet they're printed about her story is so huge, shows their importance in this." And again, that is very true. Look how big in this fucking newspaper they made this story about Zoella. For, not this, for what? They did that for what? So then Zoe put up an Instagram picture, which I actually don't have the caption here. I'm going to look that up. But I have to be so honest. I'm so happy that this is just a conversation that's now being started. And it's like, haha, this you to the journalism? Anyway, so she said, "Well, where do I start? Today has been interesting to say the least. I firstly just wanted to say, to be completely clued up, head on my stories, because that's where I'm going to have everything about what we just read through. I discovered that a GCSE syllabus were using the Zoella website as part of their curriculum. I was then told it had been dropped. Now sure how one is dropped when one didn't know they were ever involved. As some parents complained as we had posted an article. It shows how quick that the examining board removed Zoella as well. They did it literally within hours. Because one of our articles listed the best sex toys for 2021, and apparently this is absolutely disgusting that 16-year-olds should ever be graced with this horror. At Zoella, we are a team of women who all share a joint passion for other women and subjects relating to this. We want to talk about taboo subjects, which they did, and have conversations with experts so that, you know, more people can use their voice. Our main demographic, 25 to 35, and naturally as I got older, my audience has also grown up too. And the things that we want to talk about aged up as well. We want to write about this, and we will. It worries me that they think 16-year-olds aren't exploring their own bodies. Doing this is doing a step back. And then the reason all this backlash happened is why we write about it, which again, she just goes on to say that she's so grateful for the feedback and, you know, the people talking about this in a way of defending the situation. So again, this turned out really well for her. She got dropped, but she really didn't. Because everyone fucking picked her back up. So again, she was sharing more articles, and then Zoella, as like a big FU, did this article on Zoella. It says, the Zoella vibrator scandal proves exactly why we should be teaching teens about female pleasure. So, again, I'm so annoyed this conversation had to happen, but I'm glad it happened in the way it did, and it can hopefully open more people's eyes. I want to know what your opinion is on this. Let me know. We'll talk about it below. And again, she is one of the pioneers, like one of the first on this platform. Back in like 2012, 2013, the vlogger era. If you remember Zoella, I want to talk about your memories of her as well. And also, it proves that her audience has grown up because she's not getting 13 million views a video anymore. And it just shows that, you know, some audience members chose to go off, but the ones that are there grew up with her. I don't know. You can have your own opinion, and we'll talk about it below. I fuck with you, bestie.
Allegedly.
Bye. See you in my next one. Let's talk about it below, okay? Peace.